All right, so a couple days ago, I made a video on Roma, which is the new agent framework by SentientAGI. Very cool company. And what I'm going to do is record another video here and make this more tech focused. And this is because in the video I recorded here, you can see it. I talked a lot about the kind of the news and what it does. And then the actual tutorial part kind of failed a little bit. It worked, but I had a lot of API issues. And so what I want to do is make another video and show you how to get it to work. Before I do that, I do want to remind you that if you want to support me, you can click this link here and you can do all your crypto trading at trade.what.exchange and use my referral code AlphaStack. And I highly recommend you do this because these guys are DeFi. They have like a bunch of tokens. You can see you can even trade up to 100x, which is very dangerous, so be careful, but a very cool platform. Please use my referral code too. That would help me. Thanks. So the next thing I want to talk about is before you begin all this, you do need to collect all your API keys. So the ones I'm using in this video are these ones right here, my Gemini API key, OpenAI API key, and CoinGecko API key. The DeFi Llama that's also going to be used, you don't need an API key for that. One note here is that in the repo, see how this says Gemini underscore API underscore key? Well, in the actual online repo, where is it? Right here. They don't have that for some reason. They have only the Google one right here, Google Gen AI. They don't have the Gemini API in here automatic or by default. So you do have to add that. I don't know why they have that. That's probably something I should flag and tell them about. Anyways, let's go back to my guide. So this is the guide I'm going to be using. Essentially, I have outlined it into as few steps as possible, and I'm going to drop this into Cursor, and Cursor will do all of this for me. But just to break it down, what it's going to do is it's first going to well, here, it's going to first clone the repository from GitHub. It's going to take exactly what is on GitHub, put it into my local computer. It will then start Docker. You do need Docker for this to work, so make sure you have Docker set up and make sure that it's working on your computer. Once it's done that, it's going to essentially do this Docker command called setup.sh, and that will then put the files from the GitHub into Docker. Okay? But you're not actually ready to run right then or right away. You have to update the env like I mentioned before. So in this example, I'm using these API keys. I'm going to be using the Gemini 2.0 Flash as default for everything. And this is actually a real pain in the butt with Roma. And so that's what this is saying right here. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go through every single model ID entry and change it to whatever API you want to do. They have it set up so you have all your APIs and you have open router, and the agent is going to choose and it's going to use specific ones, specific tasks, which is cool in theory, but I don't want to have to set all that up. I want to use one API key, and I just want to use Google. I want to use one model only because I know this one's the cheapest one. So unfortunately, with Roma, you do have to update every single kind of thing in the agents, which again is why I'm using Cursor so that it can do that for me. And then once it has all that done, it'll just essentially run it and test it. So without any more talking, let's go. So here's my repo. I'm going to open up the tab with Control-Shift-I. This opens up the new chat context. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this guide in. And note that I have actually updated my API keys in this guide. So what you see here is I blanked it out just for my own kind of safety. But in this guide I'm dropping in, it has the actual API keys, so that Cursor has access to that, which is probably bad practice, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm just going to say, go, my friend. Go, my friend. Make magic happen. Let's see what it does. I'm going to pause it and let it go all the way through from here to the end. It should be breaking it down into phases. It doesn't say that here, but it's going to break it down into kind of 3 phases. First step here is like it's saying it's going to do this git init. So it's going to be pulling all that code from the GitHub repository. It's going to drop it into my local environment, and it's going to set it up. So that's what it's doing here, receiving objects. So let me download, and then I will talk to you in a second. Okay, so some updates. It's made my env. I'm not going to show it to you because it has my keys, but it's made my env with my my keys, and it's also added that Gemini tag. Right now, it's going to go through and update all of these files. Again, this is kind of the most annoying part, and it's doing this with a auto ran command, which is kind of cool. It's essentially searching for these things, and it's going to replace them. So if I show you this, let's have a look what it did. Here you go. So it's changed the default profile to crypto_agent_analytics_agent. And this is because in Roma, it has 3 default agents. One is some sort of general agent, which is really boring. The other one's like an an analyst, and then this one is a crypto agent. Okay, and the one we're going to be doing today is a crypto agent, because crypto agent has what it does is it has tools like CoinGecko and DeFi Llama and others like Arkham Intelligence, and it's able to use these in its searches, which makes it really cool for my purposes. So let's have a look at what it's doing here. Oh, okay, this is the annoying part I was talking about. You can see how many changes here. What it's done is it's gone through each of these and it's updated it. So you can see here, Gemini Flash. This one here, Gemini Flash. It's gone through and done that for every single one, okay? Because that's what I want. I don't want it to be hard-coded to have something else. The other one here is it's changed this tool specifically. For some reason, this tool specifically was forcing it to use OpenAI. Don't want to use OpenAI, so this is also changed. What else? Again, these are all just kind of the model updates, making sure that you can see every single one is Gemini Flash, which is what I want. Before it was hard-coded for something else. Let's have a look. Anything else here? Okay, so now it's actually moving these files into Docker. And so what's going to happen is it's going to load all this up, it's going to set it up and move it into Docker. And then Docker is going to have one container and two areas in this. The first one is the front end, which I can run in my browser. The second one is the back end, which is the one that's actually going to be calling the LLMs and doing the back end stuff. So you see it sleep. I'm going to let it sleep for 60 seconds and then we'll review the Docker. So Docker is all good. You can see it's saying everything's good. This is what Docker looks like. Like I said, it has the front end and the back end. They're both running. This green circle means you're good. And it actually did a quick test. So right here, essentially it ran this get the current Bitcoin price in USD, and it had a response to that. So the final step is I can actually show you what this looks like by going to the local host. Let me open that. Like this, like this, like this. Where is this? Here. I'm going to paste this in here. All right, and this right here is what Roma looks like. Here is that call that it did. Remember I said it did the call and get the price in USD? You can actually see it's right here and it says complete. Let me just refresh so I can click it. For some reason I can't click. Well, whatever. Let's run a new one. And what I'm going to do is get the current price of Ethereum. Okay, and let's see what it does. Before I actually click go, I want to show you some other things in the project configuration. So here's the project, here's my goal. The agent profile is really important. Like I said before, I've default set this to Crypto Analytics Planner. Here are the other ones, General Task Solver and Deep Research Planner. These are cool, I guess, but the one I care about is Crypto. The other thing too is that in the past I've been using this and I was hitting API rate limits. So oftentimes I'll change these to like less steps just in case, and also less concurrent nodes just in case. I don't want to hit API rate limits. I'm also going to lower this because if it's not getting a response from the API in say like, I don't know, a minute and a half, which is 180 seconds, then that probably means it failed. Anything else here? Cache. Okay, so let's go. Create project. First thing it's going to do is it's going to create this first node called write. And there's different types as write and search, and I think there's one other I can't remember. These are like meta categories. And you can see it's going really fast, right? So the first one is write. And what it's going to do is it's going to call to Gemini, and it's going to get like, okay, we want to, I'll show you. So if I click this node, you can see when I click right here, view full results, it gives, this is what the result was back from the LLM. And somehow the LLM is able to give the exact price, which kind of defeats the purpose of CoinGecko. It gives some other stuff. So this is the result. Let's see what else it's doing here. It says find the current price of Ethereum, including 24-hour change. Okay, so this one's asking for more stuff, like what is the 24-hour change, the trading volume, market capitalization. So something like this, you definitely could not get through an LLM, at least right now. And so hopefully it's going to give me some nice output for this. Let's have a look. Boom! This is pretty cool, right? So it was able to give me the 24-hour change. It was able to give me the intraday high, intraday low. And really the only way this is possible is that it's using that CoinGecko API. Here you go. So reliable source like CoinGecko. And it knows it has access to CoinGecko and is using that to get this information. And this is why Roma is better than using something like Grok. So for Grok, I was able to get the kind of accurate Bitcoin price. The reason why it's so close is that it was able to search CoinMarketCap, crawl that, and get the current price. But the problem here is it doesn't actually know. It's kind of bouncing between different numbers. These are all different. And then it kind of just estimates approximately this number, okay? But Roma can give you very, very specific information. And the reason why that's important is that if I want to go even more detailed, let's see, what is this? So I actually searched twice, don't really care. And then we can actually see the final result by clicking view full result. Let's have a look here. Okay, so a slight decrease, and it's kind of crunching that information and giving me the full result, right? And I went back to this first node because this is the write node, and so it's going to actually continue to write and improve that. I think Roma is a very cool program or agent software. I think it's going to get even better over time. And one of the things I really like about it that I'll show you to kind of end up this video are the agent toolkits. Here we go, agent toolkits. So data. You can see here there's an Arkham toolkit, there's a Binance toolkit, CoinGecko toolkit, DeFi Llama toolkit. One of the things that's really cool about Roma is they've made these toolkits very easy to integrate. So I could imagine if I wanted to add another tool, I would just use this structure. You can see they're all structured very similar, right? I would use this structure, and you can see it has all the API calls. I would use this structure and add in a new tool. Maybe something so it can interact on chain, like make a transaction for me or something like that. Hope this video was helpful for you. If you did like it, please support me by using that What Exchange link. I would appreciate it. Also, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.